Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Smithville Fiber Internet, streaming TV, home security and automation in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Maller Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. LawMG.com. IU Alumni Association, connecting IU's network of alumni and sharing the Indiana spirit through scholarships, advocacy, and volunteerism. Alumni.iu.edu. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnership with communities and organizations. Rural.indiana.edu. And by WTIU members. Thank you.
Coming up on Indiana Newsdesk. The number of dead songbirds is soaring across the state, and investigators are scrambling to figure out what's causing it.
We don't know if there's a causative agent, if it's a disease, if it's something else. We really just don't have any idea what it is at this point.
Coming up, the latest on the state's investigation and why poultry farmers are now on high alert as well. A host of new laws took effect this week, and some others were put on hold while the courts consider whether they're legal. A full rundown just ahead. And the ongoing ammunition shortage isn't just affecting recreational gun owners. Police departments, especially those in smaller communities, can't get enough ammo.
I called around southwest Indiana, looking for ammunition. There was none on the shelves.
Those stories, plus the latest news headlines from across the state, right now on Indiana Newsdesk. Welcome to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Joe Wren. Researchers across Indiana are working to determine the origin of a mystery illness that causes songbirds to act strangely and die. Emma Atkinson reports.
In late spring, a wildlife rehabilitator in Monroe County noticed songbirds displaying concerning symptoms: swollen, crusty eyes, tremors, and odd behavior. Many of these birds appeared sick, and some died. Now, hundreds of sick and dying birds with these same symptoms have been reported in more than 50 counties across the state. Indiana Department of Natural Resources officials say official reports are likely conservative compared to the actual number of afflicted birds. And it's not just Indiana. Sickened birds have been reported as far east as Washington, D.C. Officials are asking people statewide to take down their outdoor bird feeders to help stop the spread of the mystery illness.
We're forcing social distancing on birds themselves. So if you get, 20, 30, 50 birds around your feeders in a given day, taking those feeders down will reduce, the odds of, a sick bird coming into contact with an uninfected bird.
Testing has ruled out West Nile virus and avian flu, two common killers of birds. Because scientists don't yet know what the disease is, the State Board of Animal Health has also asked the owners of small poultry flocks, small farms, and hobby bird owners to watch their birds and enhance their biosecurity measures.
Change your clothes, change your shoes, have special boots that you wear just to go out in the chicken area. If you have your birds out in an open area, bring them in at night into the shed or the coop or barn. That way they're not out at night, and that minimizes some of the nighttime contact they may have.
Darer says no reports indicate that the illness is spreading to poultry, but if it did, commercial poultry farms would face little risk because of their often heightened disease precautions. DNR officials say laboratory testing to determine the cause of the illness is ongoing. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Emma Atkinson.
We're joined now by Brad Baumgardner of the Indiana Audubon Society, who has been tracking the situation. Hi, Brad. Thanks for being here. No one seems to know what's causing the die-off. Some even speculating it could be related to the cicadas last month. Could that be a factor?
Yeah, it's certainly one of the issues is since we don't know right now, it's easy to speculate and kind of jump to a lot of different conclusions. And it's really important to remember the difference between correlation and causation. And so we are hearing some reports that, some of the first reported sick birds were before the cicadas came out. So really, while it may be a cause, we just have to really search into it more, and we still need more data before we can really make that connection.
And that's what's happening now. So what's the process for tracking the sick and dying birds all over the state?
Yeah, it certainly can feel like it's a waiting game. The best way right now is the DNR. Indiana DNR has a wildlife tracking reporting tool, and that's online. You can go in, report sick birds, injured birds, dead birds, and that'll really allow us to get a full picture of not only how widespread this might be, and then where there's our local clusters or hotspots too.
And how concerning is it about the bird illness to you, and could there be some lasting ramifications?
Yeah, as a bird enthusiast and an ornithologist, it's very concerning. My biggest concerns right now are bigger birds, things like hawks and owls that you see, because these guys only have 1 or 2 eggs a year. And so any kind of hit on their populations will take a lot more for them to be able to recover and rebound. And so there's more risk for them than there are the smaller birds that might have 5 or 6 eggs in a nest every time they do build a nest. So as we're kind of watching this spreading, and that's where this reporting comes in, we can look for things like owls, hawks, and eagles that might get affected. And that'll be much more of a concern for me right now.
Okay, Brad, thanks so much for your time. Something we will definitely continue to follow.
Yep, something we are too.
All right, thank you. Well, this Sunday is the 4th of July, and it also marks a year since Bloomington activist Vox Booker was the victim of what he describes as an attempted lynching near Lake Monroe. Mitch Legan has an update as to where the case stands today.
It's been a year since Vox Booker found himself surrounded and pinned against a tree.
We're just trying to get out of here, guys. We're just trying to get out of here.
On July 4th last year, Booker and a group of friends went to Lake Monroe to celebrate the holiday. The details of what happened next depend on who you ask.
Please, let him go. Please let him go. We're going to as soon as you let him go.
Booker says a group of white men jumped him and threatened to hang him with a noose after he and some friends engaged the group to discuss alleged racial insensitivity. The white men say Booker knowingly trespassed on private property and got into the face of Sean Purdy's girlfriend before punching Purdy, and that's how the incident became physical. Purdy's lawyer didn't respond to WTIU's request for comment. Here's Booker back in March.
I had the mild concussion, some abrasions. There were some chunks of hair that were ripped out of my head. And basically just kind of beat up. I think the deeper wounds were the mental aspects.
Booker took to Facebook to tell his story, and it went viral. The post was shared over 200,000 times, and the videos that captured some of the incident now have over 8 million views. National and international news outlets picked up the story.
The man who says he was the victim of a racially motivated attack at an Indiana lake is talking to CBS News along with an eyewitness.
In Bloomington, the incident set off a week of protests and activism calling for justice for Booker. And a GoFundMe for him raised over $24,000.
These Justice for Vox signs have made me emotional. I don't want us to have to ask for justice for one more name.
County prosecutor Erica Oliphant charged Purdy and another man with felony battery and criminal confinement, and also charged Purdy with felony intimidation. Oliphant then recused herself from the case after allegations she was favoring Booker. The case is now under the purview of a new judge and special prosecutor. It's been moving slowly through the legal system, in part because both sides have been trying to use restorative justice instead of going to trial. The FBI is also investigating the incident as a hate crime. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Mitch Legan.
When remote working took off in the pandemic, in response, more communities are luring remote workers with cash and other incentives. Now, a group in Indiana is getting in on the trend. But as Indiana Public Broadcasting's Justin Hicks reports, some researchers question if luring remote workers is really the best strategy for growth.
Campus tours happen all the time at Purdue University, but one recently was a little different. Instead of fresh-faced high schoolers, they're actively recruiting adults with jobs that allow them to work remotely.
This is the world-famous bell tower, Purdue Bell Tower, so you can see it almost anywhere on campus.
And here's what they're offering. Stipends of up to $5,000 plus whatever campus amenities one could imagine, as long as they work remotely from the school's campus in West Lafayette for 1 year. Christian and Zoe Martin, a married couple from Los Angeles, don't remember where they heard of this particular program, but they do remember all the flashy ads they saw when they started looking into remote working programs.
And they say, oh, this program will give you 5,000, this program will give you 10,000, this program will give you 20,000. And so those are when we started doing the research and saying, okay, are these real?
Turns out these programs are very real. Christian and Zoe started applying for all the ones they could find.
We are visiting another remote location after this. We're going down to the Shoals in Alabama, and that's like a different remote program. We're going to check out and see what they have to offer and kind of go with an open mind.
And already they're noticing something. They're being competed for.
That feels a little strange, especially when we're just young people who are just working.
Evan Hawk, co-founder of Indianapolis-based MakeMyMove.com, helps places start incentive programs, including this one at Purdue. He says people like the Martins, who can keep their good-paying jobs and live just about anywhere, are a huge untapped weapon in an emerging arms race for communities to attract workers.
There were 5 million remote workers in January of last year. There are now north of 60 million remote workers, and many of them will stick around and stay remote even post-pandemic.
Hawk expects the benefits will outweigh the costs of these incentives. These remote workers will pay taxes, buy houses, eat out at restaurants, and just generally be these sort of model citizens that boost the local economy. And those splashy gimmicks like money and mountain bikes given to a few people is just the bait to start a conversation. For instance, Purdue's program is only actually paying up to 10 people, even though 15 to 20 are expected to move. And Hawk points out this idea of competing for jobs isn't new. For decades, local governments battled each other to offer all sorts of incentives that create jobs. But it was almost always geared towards companies.
The same theory that says, hey, if Amazon brings that job, that's worth X number of dollars to my community, applies to the remote worker. Like, we're seeing American life sort of shifting.
But not everyone is so eager to jump into this bold new future of remote worker incentives. Timothy Bartik, a senior economist at the Upjohn Institute for Employment Research, is skeptical. He says there's no proof these programs are actually as effective as proponents claim.
There are two issues about remote worker incentives. The first issue is, do they have any effects on migration? The second is, what are the benefits of that versus the cost?
Bartik says local governments might find it attractive because handing out money to new residents is easier than other, more politically intensive strategies. Strategies like removing barriers for foreign immigrants or investing in schools. And he warns if it doesn't have a noticeable effect on the economy, it could alienate people who have lived in communities for years, who never even got an incentive to live there.
Why is this good? Well, it's obviously good for the people who migrate. I mean, otherwise they wouldn't have taken the offer. Why is it good for the local population, the local residents? I mean, why should local residents pay higher taxes to pay for these things?
Evan Hawk with MakeMyMove.com says they plan to collect data and gather as much evidence as possible on these programs. But in the meantime, Hoosiers can expect to see more of them in Indiana. French Lick, Jasper, and Bloomington are also in the process of launching their own incentive programs. For Indiana Public Broadcasting, I'm Justin Hicks.
Coming up next on Indiana Newsdesk. Ammunition has been harder to come by and more expensive since the pandemic began, and that's affecting the bottom line for law enforcement agencies. And the Monroe County Fair is in full swing. Ahead, we talk to a pair of brothers showing off their pigs. These stories and more right here on Indiana Newsdesk.
Stay close to Indiana Newsdesk as we trace education issues all the way from the Capitol to your child's classroom. So many topics that arise each year in the State House affect what happens every day in the schoolhouse. The WTIU News Team is committed to helping you stay up to date with the issues that affect your family's future. Keep yourself informed. Tune in to Indiana Newsdesk, your source for regional and state in-depth news.
Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. Indiana legislatures created more than 200 new laws this year, and most of them went into effect on July 1st. Several measures were in reaction to events last year, including landmark police reform in the state. There are also controversial laws addressing environmental regulations and abortion. We're joined by Indianapolis Public Broadcasting State House reporter Brandon Smith for more. Hello, Brandon. Now, after a tumultuous 2020 around the country, police reform, big issue this session. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the changes with that new law?
Sure. The Indiana police reform bill, which was unanimously approved in both chambers, which was pretty shocking and historic. It does several things to police. For one, it requires all police in Indiana to undergo de-escalation training. It also makes it easier for the state to decertify officers who commit misconduct, and decertification means they can't serve as cops anymore anywhere in the state. It also made it a little broader what is defined as misconduct. It used to require a criminal conviction. It no longer does, so bad cops a little easier to identify. It also requires police departments to share more information with each other when it comes to hiring practices, so that, as the state police put it, bad cops can't jump from one department to another to another.
Protections for wetlands took a big hit this year. What was behind that?
Sure, this was, it really stemmed from conflicts between farmers and state environmental regulators. And so Republican state lawmakers kind of really were unhappy with the Indiana Department of Environmental Management. So what they did is they took away all state protections for the vast majority of wetlands in Indiana. The estimates say it could be about 80%.
Now, a major part of the state's latest anti-abortion bill has been since blocked by the courts. What did it do, and what's next for the bill?
So this dealt with what's called abortion reversal. So it said that doctors in Indiana had to require or were required to tell their patients that a medication abortion could be reversed halfway through. Now, the problem with that is a lot of leading medical organizations say that is unproven and unethical, so a federal judge struck it down. There will be a lengthy appeals process, so that's really what's next for that particular piece of legislation.
Okay, we just have a little time left. What are some of the other key bills that are taking effect this month?
A big one was an overweight trucks bill. Before now, most trucks in the state could only haul up to about 80,000 pounds. Now, most trucks can haul up to 120,000 pounds. That was passed despite some concerns over roadways and safety.
All right, Brandon, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, the COVID-19 pandemic combined with the 2020 presidential election caused a perfect storm that led to a dramatic spike in the cost of ammunition. The result is leaving shooting ranges and police departments scrambling for ammo. Adam Pinsker reports.
The town of Lagodi is nestled on the western edge of Martin County. With a population of less than 3,000 people, there isn't a lot of crime.
There's a lot of drug addiction. You know, that's a prevalent problem. That's probably our main criminal act right now.
Jim Floyd has been police chief since the beginning of the year, and he's facing another problem: lack of ammunition for the 10 full-time and 2 part-time officers.
I called around southwest Indiana, looking for ammunition. There was none on the shelves.
Floyd eventually purchased ammunition from a store in Rushville about an hour away. Chief Floyd isn't alone. Nearly 2 hours away in Columbus, that city's police department is also having a problem securing ammunition for its 88 officers.
Well, we just placed our order for 2022, and we don't know when that's going to arrive. So right now we're looking at least a year out from getting something that used to take us 3 to 4 weeks.
Columbus police spokesperson Lieutenant Matt Harris says the department got its 2020 ammunition shipment last December. The state of Indiana requires all law enforcement to take a firearms qualification course twice a year at minimum.
We want to allow the officers to have additional opportunities to go out and receive extra training, because in our eyes, just going out a couple times a year is not good enough.
Both the Columbus and Lagodi police departments say the surge in ammunition prices is taking a bite out of their city's budgets.
I asked for an additional $2,500. There was, I think, $500 in the budget, and I asked for an additional $2,500 because of the situation we were in.
The shortage is also affecting private gun ranges and gun shops. Visitors to Uncle Rudy's Firearms in Evansville will pay more than double for a box of bullets.
A box of 9mm ammunition that was a very popular training round
would have been retailing for about $13 to $14 before COVID, and now we're looking at close to $50 a box.
Rudolph says it's simply an issue of supply and demand. He said prices for ammunition started going up a few months into the COVID-19 pandemic and haven't dropped since.
The people I'm talking to, my distributors, my wholesalers, they're telling me they're not expecting anything to come back to normal again until probably close to the end of this year at the earliest.
Rudolph attributes some of the spike in demand for ammunition to Joe Biden's win over Donald Trump last year.
The old joke was that Obama was the best gun salesman for us for a long time, and before that it was Clinton.
Even with the increase in ammunition, Rudolph is still seeing a lot of first-time gun owners coming into his shop.
We want to see people get practice with their firearms and use their firearms in a responsible way, and the only way to do that is to practice.
And practicing is what the chiefs of Columbus and Lagodi say their officers will continue to do, even as they navigate the difficult and expensive process of acquiring ammunition, and public safety will not be in jeopardy.
If something happens, we are prepared to deal with it as necessary.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Adam Pinsker.
After being canceled in 2020, the Monroe County Fair returns this week with plenty of livestock. Holden Abshire reports.
To the average visitor, the county fair means fried food, rides, and demolition derbies. But for those in 4-H, it's the culmination of a year's worth of hard work. John Cale Redden is 10 years old and shows swine and cattle in the Monroe County Fair every year. He says a lot of people don't understand what it takes to raise an animal for competition.
A lot of people think it's like just feed slop and just let them lay in the mud, but no, not really. It's like walk them, feed them, water them, rinse them.
John Cale's older brother Jace Redden is 12 years old and says he and his brother know what it takes to raise a strong pig.
The goal is just to get them to have big legs. You want them to be nice and big so they have a lot of meat and muscle.
But raising a pig to be physically strong is only half of the process. Also, you have to train it to behave in competition.
The guilt just kind of runs out when you get right onto her.
Which is harder than it looks.
You gotta look at the judge, you gotta keep your pig moving, and you gotta keep its head up.
In order to keep the pig moving, the person showing it has to lightly whip the pig's ribs and chin. But no need to worry, because the Reddens say they're treated like family pets at home. They even have time to do essential pig things.
Whenever we rinse them, there's this mud hole to the side of it, and they'll lay in it and stuff.
John Cale and Jace will continue showing their animals throughout the summer with another stop at the Indiana State Fair next month. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Holden Abshire.
The fair runs through Sunday at the Monroe County Fairgrounds near the airport. Well, move over. Kentucky and Tennessee. Indiana is getting into the whiskey game. A new law regulating the advertising, labeling, and sale of Indiana rye whiskey is now in effect, and Hard Truth Hills in Nashville is unveiling its version of this Indiana spirit.
I've been a big fan of creating nice, tasty things. Both my great-grandfathers were whiskey makers illegally in their time. Rye whiskey and quality rye whiskey, a great majority of it has been made in the state of Indiana for, 15, 20 years. Most people are familiar with Tennessee whiskey and Kentucky bourbon. And so we got together with our state representative here in the area, Chris May, and brought this idea to him about creating a class designation for Indiana rye whiskey. This makes the term Indiana rye whiskey, when it's on a label, it makes it protected to where you can't put that on the label unless it meets certain criteria. So for Indiana rye whiskey, the whiskey be mashed, fermented, distilled, and aged for at least 2 years in the state of Indiana. The main flavor difference between rye whiskey and, say, like a bourbon whiskey, bourbon gets a lot more sweetness from the corn. Rye whiskey is a little more spicy, but not spicy in a hot on your tongue kind of way. Rye grows in the field, dries, they harvest it. As far as the process of how we get from that to this, first you mill it to flour, and then when you're mashing, you're just basically boiling it with water or heating it up with water. And then you cool it down and you add yeast. When you add yeast, the starches are converted to sugar, and then the yeast eat those sugars. Then we run that through our stills. Once it comes off the still, we water it down to about 110 proof and stick it in a new charred white oak American barrel. With this protection for Indiana rye whiskey, what this will allow us to do is to really get participation from the state of Indiana. Celebrating something that is already there and that should already be celebrated is really going to be an economic boom, has potential to be for all the distilleries in the state of Indiana.
And that's the end of this program, but our work continues online as we cover the news throughout the week at WTIUnews.org. Have a great, safe, and happy July 4th weekend.
Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Smithville Fiber Internet, streaming TV, home security and automation in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Mallard Grodner Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. LawMG.com. IU Alumni Association, connecting IU's network of alumni and sharing the Indiana spirit through scholarships, advocacy, and volunteerism. Alumni.iu.edu. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnership with communities and organizations. Rural.indiana.edu. And by WTIU members. Thank you.